Hey, Zed, welcome to our podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Karen.
And this is the Walking Dead cast, episode 53.
53, woo!
Happy New Year!
Happy 2012.
The last year.
That's right, 2012 according to the Mayans or something. And Hollywood.
That's right. This episode we're doing a Deadcast Top 5 double feature. We didn't tell anybody that, but that's what we're doing.
We decided on it because we like it so much.
Top 5 locations we most likely to be stranded or stuck in during this zombie apocalypse, which we did about. And we're going to, since it's the new year, we're going to do the top 5 kind of like entertainment things that we're most things we're looking forward to this year. I actually forgot to look back at what you wrote and so I did a list about top 5 just anything I'm looking forward to. It's like my son walking and it's about me. Yeah, take that.
Well, you can take video of your son walking and read the video.
Which you all should be interested in. And then we've also got our usual news and usually zombie onto, and we have an interview with Gary Strainer of FixItChapel.com, which was mentioned during our Great Tarot interview. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But let's also, did you take the personality test?
I did indeed.
You did?
Yeah.
There's a personality test up on the AMC website. I'll put a link on our WalkingDead.com in the show notes. And it's to see which character in Walking Dead you're most like.
You have to guess which character I'm most like. And I guess
Shane, I think.
Happy man.
No, let's see. You, I don't know, Flynn.
Yes.
Really?
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
I got T-Dog.
T-Dog.
Nobody likes T-Dog. He's lazy. Doesn't do crap.
Hey, that counts.
Here,
and poor judgment.
Yeah, exactly. See, there's a big picture of T-Dog. It says, in another life you were strong and your sense of right and wrong is still a core part of who you are, but the apocalypse has left you less sure of yourself. Guilt over past actions is forced you to second guess the decisions you make.
Wow.
You.
Guilt over.
Just because I don't kill everyone I see or whatever.
I like T-Dog. T-Dog doesn't make many appearances though. So
He just falls over a lot.
opens me for no reason.
Oh, I heard someone.
Oh, and mine was Glenn, Rockstar Glenn, and it was, all the questions were like, are you adorable? Yes.
We're going to get more one-star reviews.
I know.
Let's move on.
Let's do.
Okay, let's go on to the news about Walking Dead. There's a couple other sort of related things too. Like the first one, AMC is developing a TV series based on the acclaimed 1990 mob movie Goodfellas. That's not very related to the new AMC show.
Wow.
So the same guy who wrote the movie Goodfellas and also the book it was based on, Nicholas Pileggi, he is working on it. So hopefully that'll be good.
I love that movie.
It came out the same year as Dances with Wolves and Dances with Wolves won the Oscar.
Oh.
But Goodfellas kind of stood the test of
Yeah,
that.
Goodfellas is amazing. I will watch it anytime I watch it. I wonder what, Goodfellas is like as many.
Not Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is a number of years over. I wonder where in that timeline they're going to
Or jump around or what. The next We're Alive, the zombie podcast, is back for its third season right now.
One of our listeners told us about that.
Yeah, but I already knew because I'm
You're a fanboy.
And so just if you didn't know that, I actually didn't realize it until a little later, but I think there's a couple episodes out now. So if you're into it, it's back on.
And it's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I need to go back and re-listen to the last part because I, for one thing, was already kind of getting confused about what's happening towards the end of season 2. And if you're walking along and you get listening and you kind of get lost and you don't go back and listen again, then you're just lost. That's how I am. I'm a total T-Dog. But so I need to go back and get my bearings because I can't enjoy it as much if I don't remember. I did comics too, and they only came out once a month. By the time a month rolls by, I had no idea what happened last time. It's better to wait until there's a bunch of them saved up and listen to all the movie. Next, apparently World War Z they're talking about making the trilogy, which confused me because I thought they'd already been shooting, and so can they like switch something like that, or are they talking about making the already shot the trilogy or making more movies after this?
Making more movies. Maybe they shot the book World War Z and now they're working on the next books to continue on that story.
The book is all over the world and it's sprawling. It sounds like they're gonna they call it just a mix of Bourne Identity and The Walking Dead, so they're gonna turn it into more of a personal story. Well, Brad Pitt plays like Jason Bourne character or something.
They have books on Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I mean, the book is more like a news report, so it's not immediately apparent how that would be a movie. So from what I've heard, they're kind of changing the perspective or something like that. Okay, next, ex-Walking Dead showrunner Frank Darabont has revealed some plans that he had for the first episode of Walking Dead season 2. Actually, the reason why he's even talking about this at all is because there's this actor Sam Witwer, I think, who is now in a show called Being Human, but he remember the zombie that Rick got trapped in the tank with?
Yeah.
Well, this actor was that zombie, and the reason why they didn't just cast an extra like they usually do is because Frank Darabont had plans to show his backstory in the first episode of season 2, and there was going to be a big army thing in Atlanta with lots of zombies being mowed down and all this, right?
Fantastic.
And they're going to just incorporate a couple of cast members. They're going to have Dale go in and pull Andrea and Amy out of trouble, and that's how he met them. That would just be a little side thing,
right?
And Sam Witwer, there's a video which I'll link to on WalkingDead.com where he's talking about this, and he's mad because he's saying AMC cut the budget by 35% or so, and that's he's kind of confirming that that's really the main reason why Frank had to go, and he's really mad that he needs to do that episode. Episode everything's fascinating to listen to because people haven't really thought that openly.
No, they haven't, because they want to keep working.
Right. But then Frank Darabont saw this and he went on Cool News and actually said, okay, well, I'm going to talk about what I have planned, and he talks all about what this episode was going to be like. I pretty much just summarized it, so I'll put a link of the Cool News thing where he talks more in detail about what it was going to be.
Interesting. Does he touch on anything surprising?
Well, the really interesting thing about it is that he had planned over the course of the series to occasionally do an episode like this that was sort of out of the field and
backstory.
Yeah, well, it's backstory that also doesn't have anything to do with any of the characters.
Which I love.
It's more just, I mean, it's an army, like it's a different thing, right? And it's heavy action and all that. He said he liked how Lost did that every once in a while. The wild card episode, he calls it.
Right.
So
and also that answers the question about the military. And
yeah,
for people like me who are wondering how the heck they defeat the military.
Right. Well, he says, picture our squad arriving in a barricade where some civilians are being held back from leaving the city on shooting orders to stop the spread of the contagion. It's a panic, high intensity scene. The barricade gunners panic, civilians start getting mowed down by machine gun fire, which that would be nice to see. And, et cetera. So check out the links on our site if you want to see more about that. And then this is a related item. Frank Darabont is set to write and direct the pilot episode of a new TNT series, L.A. Noire. He's also an executive producer, and it's based on the John Bunton book about the clash during the 1940s and 50s between LA Police Department and crime lord Mickey Cohen. And it's not based on the L.A. Noire video, by the way, that just came out this last year. So he's working on other stuff. Yeah, don't get kicked off that show. Next, from an interview with Bear McCreary, who's a composer at deathandtaxesmag.com, they asked, what's your thought process for The Walking Dead? What are you hoping to achieve? He says, I'm hoping to create a genuinely terrifying atmosphere in a unique way. I'm striving to avoid the cliches of horror films of the past 25 years, but still scare audiences. It can be very tricky. Some scenes really require a simple tried and true approach, but most of the time I'm able to find something in the narrative or character arcs to highlight in addition to the terror. To underline a threat that is either philosophical, emotional, or personal instead of just physical. So I'm interested in this because it did seem to me on when we did our rewatch that I really do think that in season 2 he has gone more back to more traditional scare music. I think he was trying to avoid that in season 1, and I like the music, but it was less scary. And music can really add to it. So I get the thing that he decided, okay, sometimes I'm just going to put a little cycle.
Good. I love the music.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you ever gotta watch Battlestar Galactica, it's a great show. He did the music now, it was even better.
And first I finish up, bring that. We're almost done.
Okay, and then just another question that was interesting. Finally, any future projects you would care to share? And Ben Murray says, I'm working on a feature called Knights of Badassdom. It's going to be really fun. It stars Ryan Quanten, who is Jason Stackhouse on True Blood. Peter Dinklage, who's the little dwarf guy from Game of Thrones. Is also one of my favorite cousins.
And the Station Agent, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, Steve Zahn, Summer Glau. Summer Glau was
Serenity.
Yeah, and Serenity. She's been in a couple of things.
Yeah.
She's in Dollhouse and
Right.
And Danny Pudi is unlike anything you've ever seen. It's a hybrid of genres, including fantasy, horror, adventure, and heavy metal. Fans are going to really enjoy it.
What do you call it?
Knights of Badassdom. People in it.
Yes, it does.
So I would not see it based on the title, but
I would.
based on people.
I'm Quanten. Woo!
Yeah. Next, in the list of top selling graphic novels and trade paperbacks of 2011, Walking Dead holds 6 of the top 10 spots, including number 1, which is amazing because in the list of the 500 top selling single issue comic books, I don't think Walking Dead is in that list at all. So more people are buying it in trade form.
Right. That's how I bought it.
Yeah, people see the show and they go in and say, can I give me some Walking Dead? And then they don't want to just give Mission 92.
Right.
Yeah,
Is that what they're up to right now? Mission 92?
I think so, yeah. Yep. And it seems like one to do. I think he's late. I want my Walking Dead. Next one, a Walking Dead sneak peek video will air during AMC's Hell on Wheels finale this Sunday, January 15th.
Oh, this Sunday.
Yeah, it is. When you're hearing this, it's either tomorrow or it's already passed. Hell on Wheels starts at 9 or 8 Central. And they say, tune in to catch the first glimpse of the new survivors about to enter Rick's world.
Interesting.
And then the final thing.
They're probably on their website too.
Yes, I mean, you don't have to watch Hell on Wheels. I heard it's not that good.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I watched a little bit of one episode and I didn't really get into it. I don't know, maybe some people like it. Okay, so Robert Kirkman, writer, Robert Kirkman, talked Entertainment Weekly about what's coming up in the rest of the season. Very slightly spoilery, but not much. But this is the last one, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers, I'll move on to the next thing. But
Find a cure?
he says, yeah, they find a cure.
Everything is great again.
Shane turns nice.
Sunshine Lollipop.
He says, well, we very much come back for the second half of the season following up on all the questions the viewers have about the barn situation. What does Herschel know? Was he keeping things from them? Did he know Sophia was in the barn? We kind of hit the ground running from there. It's very much a catalyst that leads to a lot of cool events. He also confirms there's going to be more action in the second half of The Walking Dead. Season 2 calling it jam-packed. A lot going on. He says, I actually just watched episodes 11, 12, and 13 all in one night, reviewing some new cuts, and it's an insane bunch of episodes. There's a lot of stuff packed in there, and there's quite a bit of cool action stuff. So it's somewhat more faster paced than the first half of the season.
All right, we'll be there.
He knows we want to hear that.
Yes.
Better not be lying.
And when's the date? Is it February 12th?
Yep.
February
And these will be the first episodes that are Daredevil free. That sounds like a good thing, but we'll hope it is good.
Yeah.
Okay, ready to move on?
I'm ready to move on.
Come
Attention shoppers, Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
This is our first Deadcast Top 5 double feature. We've got the top 5 locations where we want to be during the zombie apocalypse and the top 5 things we're most looking forward to this year.
Double features on the popcorn. We should popcorn. Very popcorn.
And so we'll start with the top 5 locations where we want to be during the zombie apocalypse. Keep in mind that Karen will be at her location with Jon Stewart and Barack Obama.
And you will be at your location with
So
James.
soccer player.
Right.
Right. Wilson.
That will be awkward.
Okay.
You go first.
Oh, I go first.
Yes.
Okay. First, I just want to quickly say, when I thought about this idea, or somebody gave it to me, I was thinking malls or places that I want to be that would be fun to be at, but then I quickly, you always see malls in zombie movies, and it's like this fantasy, even though they're in danger, they still get to go through the mall and blast through and do whatever they want, and just do whatever they want,
Right.
Yeah, and then I thought, okay, but what about more secure places like an army fort or a tower? One thing that dawned on me is everything I can think of we've seen in a zombie movie or a game. I've seen a hospital, airport, police station, army forts.
You haven't seen what I'm going to say.
Okay, that's going to be exciting. But anyways, I kept thinking, I wouldn't want to be in those places for too long, though. It would just be a dull, boring existence.
But dude, you're alive.
I'm alive, yeah. So I got some.
I mean, depending on your goal, if that's your goal.
Yeah, I had to try and keep in mind places where I might have a chance of being safe, but I also not just die of depression.
Right.
Like an underground bunker, I would tell myself.
Friends read novels and then do the reading you always wanted to. Go get
Yeah,
it.
I've read them.
You really have nothing. You got nothing.
But anyway, number 5 is actually one of the places where I have fun getting to do whatever the hell I want. And it's the Louvre. in
Oh,
Paris.
yeah. And very secure.
It's, yeah, you think it might be secure.
Right.
And for some reason, the first thing that comes to mind is like Smash Mona Lisa. I don't know why. I don't have anything against
Because you're
Mona Lisa. I can
twisted
do whatever I
and
want.
mean. How does like all the mustache?
I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. It has to be directly on the painting.
He's nice when he comes off, folks.
The Vatican could also be an alternative.
Yeah, now that would be fun.
It's beautiful.
And you gotta figure the Pope wheel. Very
Yeah, I'm sure
secure.
there's got to be an underground bunker in the Vatican.
Please.
He's got the Pope wheel.
You know, and for that,
Right, the Pope wheel.
you could like have a very large hat on while you're in the Pope
Steward
wheel.
of the zombies.
God will be on your side. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna now that you said that, I almost need to redo my list.
No, just do it,
Okay,
just do it.
because now we can say White House is unbelievably secure.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, but no, that's not my number 5. Anywhere in Canada.
That's a good one.
Why? The nicest
Cold.
people. They're also sweet and helpful.
Oh,
Yeah, I just love
even
Canadians.
zombies?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking that because it's cold up there, and they might freeze, or the zombies might freeze.
No, I have cold later on the list.
But Canada's cold too.
That was just because of the mix.
My number 4 is one of secluded cabin in the Rockies or some other mountainous area because I want to go somewhere remote. I think this is what
That doesn't sound like a horror story.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Everything you can think of has been done. In fact, I think they go to Canada in World War Z. Not because it was nice, but because it's cold. And that's why I want to go in this place because I think the winter at least would be safer, where the zombies might freeze, and it would be good to be out in nature too.
I like it. That's related to one of my list. In fact, it's related to one of my I'll say right now. Juneau, Alaska, cold, isolated, and we all know what happens in the cold. Sluggish, even slower. What?
Sluggish sounds like. I don't know. Anyway, okay, that's your number,
Yeah, number 4.
My number 3 is Antarctica. I'm just kidding. Is a fortified group of houses. It's kind of big, but I mean, in this fantasy, I would gather a whole bunch of survivors, like 100 or so, and get them all together and try to find a place where we can like dig around this village or build a wall around it or something, and fortify it, and then train people to keep watch and everything, and have systems for how we're gonna help protect each other, so that when it's not our turn to do the protecting, we can try and live somewhat normal life inside this little village.
Hopefully, you don't have any dumbasses in your group.
No, that never happens.
Never happens. Okay, so my number 3 is, now that I think about it, you're right. This has been done before. New York City. I want to be in some rich person's apartment with Hanover.
That's good, except I think that'd be the worst place to be.
I know, and also, you get in your pen and then what?
Yeah, you run out of
You
scrap.
can only read it so many times.
You get in your apartment.
Right, exactly. You know, lifetime, it's a bad idea. So anyway, right, I'll die in my rich person's Hanover.
Yeah, because I just for the hell I made a list of some of the worst places which I read before. It's hospital, morgue, cemetery, and Manhattan happens to be on there.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, my number 2 is kind of cheap, but it's the open road. Some 4-wheel drive that I'd steal.
Nice.
And,
Like Zombieland.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Which is a movie. All this stuff. Now, as I'm making these, I'm thinking of these zombie writers who are going, we could do another one. Where would be a good location? They're probably doing the same thing. We can do, the open road. Oh, that's Zombieland.
New York City. No. My number 2, you're done, is one that hasn't been done.
Okay.
Ready for it? Necker Island, Richard Branson's private island. Tiny, isolated in the Caribbean, accessible only by boat.
Well, maybe that island's never been done, but islands have been done.
Islands have been done.
Dead Islands, for example, the video game. That's not an island.
Okay, how about this?
But not Necker Island.
How about and by the way, Necker Island, you can actually rent. You can rent out Necker Island. You rent Island. Yeah, Richard Branson, you know, he's got fun stuff. So maybe
You rent it from Richard Branson?
yes,
Wow.
you can rent it from Richard Branson and maybe have a good time on Necker Island until the zombie community. By the way, what else on a boat?
Yeah,
Has that been done?
Well, in games only.
Wow.
There's been, I know there's been like a cruise ship
Right.
in Resident Evil, one of the Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. They're just about done. But my number 1 has not specifically been done either. It would be, I'll just talk about the island from Lost. Because
Yeah.
it jumps around a lot and stuff.
And Island would protect you.
You think so? All the many people have died there, like by flaming arrow and stuff.
Bad people?
The Lycan guys are bad?
Yes. But you know what? The island didn't need him.
Okay, that helps me feel better. Because I'm sure it would need me.
The island would totally protect you. And
What
smoke
a
monster. The smoke monster would like snap out the zombies.
Oh my god, what a dumb show. We talk about it, it's like, you watch that? It was really good.
It compelled me for about 5
No,
years.
I loved it. But then hearing it, it's like the smoke monster. I don't know.
Put the plug in there.
You turn this giant wheel from a ship.
The frozen donkey wheel. Oh my, good time. All right, my
But island would be good. I think that'd be the best.
yeah, remote island.
Polynesian or something.
And which brings me to my number 1, which is St. John, U.S. Virgin Island. Not exactly unknown, but I figure I'm gonna die anyway. And I had a great time there. It was really pretty, and I have so many nice memories.
How big is it? Is it like Hawaii?
No,
Small?
really, really
Oh,
small. It's
yeah.
like 14 square miles or something.
I
Yeah.
think that'd be good. If you could just clear it of zombies, then you'd be safe.
That'd
And
be
you can eat fruit and stuff.
And live off the land.
Okay, that's good. I had 2 honorable mentions. A beautiful farm surrounded by swamp and a water park where I lured the zombies out and watched them slide down.
Not about that. All right, have some popcorn, take a break, and we're going to the Dark Second Half 5.
No, we're going to do a listener top 5.
Oh yeah, but have some popcorn anyway.
Which I have written down. Do you want to read the first one?
Yeah.
This is from Bradley. Strange, but I think his name might also be James. I don't know.
Okay,
But you know that kid who was Sorensen.
yeah, we loved him. Okay, right. This is from him. His number 5 is Barrow, Alaska. Zombies will be frozen solid in wintertime alive for cooking easy disposal. Dude, that's like a Juneau, Alaska.
Yep.
Number 4, Goose Island, Clarksville, Indiana. It's an island nobody lives on with nearby concrete dikes that could be sandbagged and make a great stronghold. Plenty of game to hunt, and if a herd of zombies came by, just press the big red button on the control board for the dam and say bye bye. Awesome. And number 3, Fort Knox, Kentucky. No shortage of bunkers, weapons, tanks, soldiers, food supplies, electricity, hot water, and it won't blow up with generation of fuel. Unlike some strongholds. 2, Glen Arbor, Michigan, a town in the middle of nowhere with a population of about 150. Fabulous. And number 1, Atlanta, Georgia. CDC access and Google Maps so I can hang out in Morgan's house. Oh my god. You are brilliant, Mr. Strange. Brilliant.
The Glen Arbor, Michigan one, that's sort of like my idea. A little town in the middle of nowhere to be fortified.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Okay, thanks, James / Bradley. This one's from Victor. Number 5, a Walmart. If I'm stuck in town because it has everything you need, food, water, clothes, and weapons.
Yeah, but they're in a Walmart.
Yeah, that's true. outside. Target. Number 4,
Same.
a boat big enough to hold a lot of provisions, but small enough to be driven by 1 or 2 people.
Yeah, same like 5.
Not like a motorboat, I would imagine.
Right.
Sailboat, a big yacht, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. 3, a mountain cabin far enough from people that it makes it hard for zombies to get up there, but close enough to be able to go to town and get supplies.
Like
The town thing is like if you're close. I mean, town supplies aren't gonna last forever, will they? I don't know. They'll last for a good while.
better
but
check your
yeah, you can figure out how to do that.
seeds, clutch seeds now.
Number 2, a small island near civilization for some reason, but the extra benefit of having water between me and zombies.
Yes.
Except for the other zombies.
Right.
And number 1, an oil rig, because there's no way zombies are getting on that fucker once it's clear. They're usually stocked up, and if they're not, well, there's lots of room to put supplies. And for people, there's also power to spare, and oil rig itself will last way longer than zombies will. Yeah, but the supply thing is kind of the deal, I'd say.
Yeah, and you're on a rig.
I mean, a lot of places that would be the best to be are no fun.
No.
Underground bunkers, I think, are good, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe a library. Maybe that's the ultimate for me, like the New York City Library. It's probably it's a free building, lots of entertainment.
read self-help.
Yeah, exactly. God, how sad. Like maybe after I went to the library and I was in it was awful.
That's like there was a Twilight Zone.
Was there?
Where, what was it? Some guy who just loved books and ended up being the last man on the planet and then he broke his glasses.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's move on to the next one.
All right. Like start with me.
Sure.
Groovy. Thing I'm looking forward to in 2012. Oh, there's so many.
This is all
things.
like media or you said technology.
Technology, actually, yeah, technology, media. It's actually things that are. I mean, because I'm about to go to my 5, which is movies. And movies I'm looking forward to. I have 2 that I cannot freaking wait for. I've been reading on Hunger Games books.
Oh, yeah.
So the Hunger Games is coming out in March
Okay,
as a movie. Yeah. I'm
Who's
so
starring? Sorry,
excited.
somebody good.
Yeah, she was in that movie.
That one guy?
Shut up. Yeah, she's rats.
Hunger Games movie
Yeah, this is
is, people do this on podcasts all the time.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Who's she?
She was in.
She's cute.
Yeah, she's super beautiful.
Burning. Who's that called? I don't know.
Wait, isn't that big one?
Cinematography, Burning Pain.
No, the big one that she was just in. Which
No, I
was, she was
didn't
in
see
which one? Yeah, that was the
Did you
big
see
one.
the beaver?
No, I heard actually. Yeah, me too.
January Sucker Panda. Cool. What else?
Okay. No. I'm sorry. What was he?
Oh, is that? Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, my number 5 is they're gonna have Titanic in 3D. Just kidding. They are gonna have that. Mine's Cabin in the Woods. You know about this?
No.
It's this trippy, mind-bending horror movie that's co-written and produced by Joss Whedon, and it's co-written by Drew Goddard, who wrote a bunch of Buffy and Angel and also Lost episodes.
Really?
And the trailer looked really cool because it starts out like a bunch of teenagers and it's a typical horror movie thing, but then all this weird like other dimensional stuff happens, like the houses, the parts that are moving around.
Oh.
There's only one thing that makes me a little worried about this is that this movie was actually filmed in 2009, and Wikipedia says the studio had financial difficulties and that's why it's been put off, but now they finally found a way to distribute it or something. But I don't know. It seems like if it was a really good movie, they might have like found a way to put it out sooner. I don't know. But it looks cool. And
Yeah,
you know,
it's just Whedon somehow. Yeah, that'd be great.
Hopefully, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I see why. My number 4 is a piece of technology that's been out for a little while, but not too long. But it's going to be in my life in a couple months, which is the it's my very first iPhone, and it's going to be iPhone 4, and you have it.
Yeah, 4S, right?
4S.
Cool.
Yeah, Siri.
Yeah.
Who provided
Amazingly cool.
us no end of entertainment when you first got her.
Awesome. Siri's pissing me off because half the time you ask her something, she says, "I cannot help you right now. Try again later." But I'm sure they'll have it fixed.
She's like Magic 8 Ball.
Well, the thing I know exactly. Reply easy. How do you get to such and such? Reply easy.
And ask again. Shut up, Siri.
When it works, it's amazing.
She's
Cool.
sassing you.
I know. Well, the thing is, when you make a query to Siri, it goes to a remote server, and I think right now, when too many people are asking it once, it doesn't work right. So, it's a problem.
Siri's getting overwhelmed. Too many people over. Stop it, Siri.
My number 4 is more of this TV show that I recently watched the first season of, American Horror Story, which is really good, and I actually totally loved the first half or so, and then towards the end, it wasn't quite as good, but it was still great, and I'm very much looking forward to the second season of it.
We have to watch that as and maybe do a podcast about it. Next
Okay.
off season.
Did you have a chance to watch it?
I have not. That's actually my number 3, which is
to
to
watch,
watch. There's 2 TV shows that are new, and one's new to me. One is American Horror Story. I can't wait to see that. And Alcatraz.
Right.
Right. And we're going to talk about Alcatraz. Because Alcatraz is premiering. We wrote down the date somewhere, and it's premiering, and
Couple days.
Monday, January 16th, is going to premiere. And we're
This is a J.J. Abrams show starring Jorge Garcia.
who we love. And it's supposed to be set on in San Francisco on Alcatraz, and freaking filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia. Really produced really good in San Francisco.
No, it's too expensive. They always film stuff. They filmed X-Files in Vancouver.
Vancouver, beautiful. Love
They do a
Vancouver.
lot
Hey, it's
for
not-
New York, too,
it's not
sometimes.
San Francisco.
Yeah, they can afford to. That's the only problem. I mean, yeah, it's not great, but they would if it's a choice between having the show or not. You know what I mean?
Right. Your number 3?
My number 3 is The Avengers, which is also written and directed by Joss Whedon. And he wrote a script for Wonder Woman a couple years ago, and it got rejected. And that was fun for him. That was the same time the show Dollhouse wasn't really succeeding, and eventually got canceled, even though I thought it was an awesome show. And I'm like, man, he's not catching a break. But now they gave him The Avengers,
Nice.
which is a huge movie with
Yes.
Robert Downey Jr. and it's bringing all the Marvel heroes together that have been in movies lately. Thor and Hulk is going to be in it, and Iron Man and Captain America. And I saw some previews that looks great. It's good because he knows how to do group dynamics really well.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
And Serenity or Firefly, and this is a group of heroes, so I have a really good feeling about it.
I just like pretty much everything he does. So good. I hope it is good.
Me too.
All right, my number 2 is shows that are coming back. TV shows that are coming back this year. So this is under Files Under TV Old, and that includes Breaking Bad season 5 coming back, The Game of Thrones season 2. Can't wait. True Blood season 4, and The Walking Dead, which is the second half of season 2.
And the first part of season
3, right? Yeah, you might think right. So a bunch of shows that are on currently on hiatus and when they come back, great.
My number 2 is the iPad 3, which is just a rumor right now, but I know how to read the rumor checks pretty well. I read them all the time and know which ones are probably going to be true. Almost for sure. A couple years ago, the iPhone screen changed over to this really super high-res display called Retina display. When you look at it, it's almost indistinguishable from how fine-grained it is.
Yeah.
But the iPad, you can still tell it's pixelated, you know? So that the new screen will be a lot easier on eyes. You know?
Really?
Otherwise, it's going to be almost exactly like the iPad I'm holding in my hand right now. But I'm such an Apple freak that I'll find a way to get rid of the seller or give it to Daniel or something.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna do it.
Right. You know, it's amazing how they keep their value of the iPads, and anything Apple just is unbelievably easy to still sell for all kinds of money.
Well, yeah, only when a new one comes out, the value goes down because
Not that much.
people are buying the new one. You can sell it also on Gazelle.com and get some money that way too. I've sold a couple iPhones on there. I always get the latest.
My number 1, the source of much amusement lately, and also a source of frustration that I think 2012 is going to be a very interesting year politically, and that means media-wise. Presidential election. We have a presidential election coming up, and it's going to be crazy media-wise. So I cannot wait. Daily Show never fails to amuse, and so does Colbert Report. And recently, Steve Colbert is talking about running for president of the United States of South Carolina, and he's so funny and great. So I'm really looking forward to the presidential elections here, all that entails media-wise.
Me too. I didn't think about that, but I love all that stuff, even though it's like a train wreck sometimes.
It's a wonderful train, and God bless America.
And my number 1 is when I just thought, okay, what media thing I'm most looking forward to besides The Walking Dead is more Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Getting through Breaking Bad right now, we are watching on DVD, and we have to watch it in tiny little sips because it's so intense.
Yeah,
it's tough to
it's getting more and more intense too.
It's tough to drink it all at one time.
And I think Bryan Cranston, who plays the main character, well, feels that way. Like he has to go and wash the walls off of him in the shower. I only put one thing per thing, so I have a list of honorable mentions.
Yeah, do it.
So movies, Amazing Spider-Man, which I hope is good, even though they're rebooting it
Yes,
soon after.
agreed.
The Dark Knight Rises, which I also was getting. I thought the second movie was highly overrated, which I know is controversial. But
I kind of agree with you.
Wes Anderson has a movie coming out called Moonrise Kingdom, which is set in like a 60s summer camp or something like that. It looks really good. I love these movies. This
Me
movie,
too.
Prometheus, is directed by Ridley Scott, so he's getting back into sci-fi after a long absence. He directed Blade Runner,
Among other
Alien, right?
things. Yeah.
And it's written by Damon Lindelof, who was the main guy in Lost. And it might be an Alien prequel or set in the same universe, but they're being very mysterious about it, so that's interesting.
Sort of hyperventilating.
For TV, the ones you mentioned, True Blood, Game of Thrones, and I also recently getting into Louis,
Never
which
saw
is a
it.
funny ass
Louis
show.
CK?
Yeah, it's really good. So authentic and really everything. Good show. And then this one, Warren Kelly's The River, which I think we mentioned on here before, but the guy who did Paranormal Activity has a show coming out that's set in the Nile or some expedition where this guy goes missing and his family goes to find him, and it's like a horror movie.
Interesting.
So it's pretty interesting. I hope.
You know, I never saw Paranormal Activity 3. Was it good?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It's interesting to me that they kind of do almost exactly the same thing every movie, you know.
And it's still keeps being
it's scary, but not as.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
But I know if I would have seen that first, it would have totally freaked me out, you know. But I'm getting sensitized to it, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
And Jenny gets mad 'cause she doesn't like seeing the same thing. But I just imagine it's a TV show that has one episode a year.
Right.
So it was great. Yeah, it was good. By the way, if since we didn't give you guys a warning that we're going to be doing this top 5, if you want to send in your top 5 things that you're looking forward to, we'll read some of those next time on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to take a little break, and during this break, I'm going to play some music that one of our listeners, Jaden Walker, did for us. So enjoy that, and we'll be back in. We're back in time for listener Rose
Great. All right, this person comes from Robert. Where have you guys been? Love podcasting, you guys. I hope you're not in somewhere. Sophia!
I get to the title, he said, you guys are my Sophia.
Our adorable little zombie girl. Thanks.
This one is from Gracie Lewis. She says, you have finally forced me to step out on you guys. I feel terribly guilty, but I have needs. In all seriousness, I hope I miss you.
Wow.
And call her Hussy.
Sorry that we've been gone. We've been woefully absent.
Yeah, my great grandmother's 99, passed away.
I'm so sorry.
And she was 99, so she was ready.
Yeah, what's her first name?
Nora.
Nora. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm glad I remember that she was always going to say to me. But, we're back.
Yes, we're back. We're going to do a podcast now every other week until the season opener, and then we'll be doing weekly podcasts for the rest of season 2.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. So sorry, guys. And Gracie, we love you. Don't step on us. Come back to us, baby.
Yeah, don't listen to any other podcast.
You know you love us. Come back to us now, baby. Right, this one's right. I know the new Walking Dead season started February, which is a much shorter week than for last season, but I'm missing your podcast. Are you waiting for the new season? I'm really going through withdrawal from your show and your podcast. Hope to be hearing from you soon. Also, based on
How much would you be willing to pay for the next episode? Because the first 53 are free.
Oh, Ed, don't be that way. You know you love it, baby.
You know you love it.
You know you want it. Also, based on one of your previous podcasts I started listening to, We're Live. What an awesome show. Unfortunately for me, I am caught up on the podcast too. On that podcast too. Any other recommendations for zombie horror other downloads while I wait for them? You and The Walking Dead.
Nope. No other podcast.
No other podcast.
I don't know. Do you? I mean,
You know what? Actually, one thing I'm listening to a little bit lately. Just a little bit is The Nerdist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, The Nerdist.
Chris
With Chris Hardwick. Yeah, I like him. I like him okay. But he interviews a lot of my geeky heroes.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, he interviews my geeky heroes. So go and check out that podcast and listen to him and then reflect on how much better we are.
And write in and tell them. Stop.
He concludes with thanks again for the videos and everything that I enjoy. Clearly, I'm hooked. Oh, and that last I can review about 2 of you revealing spoilers. It's silly. You always complain to this, and I think they don't get the nature of podcasts. I wouldn't change a thing. Best Ed. Oh,
Thanks, Ed.
love it, Ed.
I'm glad you wrote that. But, and because of that, I put in a little that review already. It's from the Rabbit Slayer. It says, I love your podcast, and please don't stop, but you're killing me with spoilers. Damn. You guys are great, but I can't keep listening if you keep destroying the show for me. You are guilty, and you know it. I'm a fan, but I don't know how much more I can listen.
Oh,
So,
Rabbit Slayer.
God, that hurts me because I didn't know we did that. I think, from my perspective, occasionally, like really rarely though, I've said something without warning that might be kind of spoilery, but I, for the most part, really try to warn you guys when something's going to be spoilery, and I divide the show up into chapters so you can skip along.
Oh, Rabbit Slayer.
So
I'm so sorry.
we got another review saying something about spoilers besides this one. So I'm wondering if I'm just not seeing something like I'm being less careful than I think I am. So please, if all you other guys or anybody else listening thinks that I'm being too careless with the spoilers, stop listening. I'm just kidding. Write in and let me know exactly what I said that you didn't like so that I can do better. I really don't want to ruin the show for anybody.
Also, and I didn't think we had to review fake spoilers. Just for our own amusement. So don't confuse with actual spoilers.
Except we don't actually do that.
It's funny. This one might be from Bradley again. Bradley Strange. It's important theory about the breakdown of the frontal lobe. I now propose this proof. Note in SI season 1 episode 1 Days Gone By that right as Rick exits the hospital property just to the left and low, there's a random dead lady with fancy high heel shoes on face down mud. She doesn't have a bullet wound to her head, which leads me to believe that she was at one time an active walker. Also in season 1 episode 2, Guts, just before Rick and Glenn cross the causeway in the parking garage to enter the department store, we catch a glimpse of not only several shambling walkers but also numerous dead bodies. This proves that zombies do indeed expire. Not everyone's born with the same size frontal lobe, which proves why not all zombies don't expire at once. Fascinating. P.S. I don't have any homework since it's Christmas break and I'm on the trimester schedule, so I don't have finals until spring because people need I can do homework. Last night.
Yep. I don't know. I see what you're saying, but I really don't think the writers have thought through to that extent. I think they just said it would be cool if there was some dead bodies over here, put some there, a bunch of people in the show. But who knows? Maybe maybe you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear them. I mean, hopefully over time the show will reveal a bit more about how the zombies work and stuff like that. We'll see.
You're a smart kid and
That's for sure.
I love you, Ryan.
This, yeah, ditto. Please write in more. This is a call from Seth.
Jason, Aaron, Seth from Los Angeles. I gotta tell you, man, this podcast rocks. I'm loving the show, and it completely transcends the genre of it, and I know this because I've been interested in the genre. I've recently been trying to ingest some of it and watch Night of the Dead, Zombie movies. I know, man, this show is the best that I've been able to get onto. I just feel like so connected to the characters, and I mean, the zombies takes one thing, but I don't know, the political aspect of it has me completely mesmerized. I'm really frustrated when it comes to TV. So I gotta say, this is one of the best shows I've ever seen in a real long time since maybe Wire or Shield. But I'm loving your podcast. I listen to it on the golf course, and I'm constantly working on my zombie sounds, and I do my shamble on the golf course. Specifically when you mentioned, hey, we're going to do shamble, and I walk around and funny with it, so I can laugh. So here's my zombie sound. Thank you for the good work, and I'll get to it, all right? My zombie voice is kind of based on an old kind of party trying to do this.
Thanks, Seth.
Awesome.
Yeah, I hope
That
you're
makes me
doing
so happy to hear that you're shambling around the golf course. Love it.
Aw. So
Now next
what
time when you take a shot, imagine you're a zombie. I want to know how zombies go. Like, maybe your arm will fly off. What movies? He actually called me again and he wanted to know what zombie movies he should watch.
Zombieland.
Zombieland.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yep, Shaun of the Dead. That's what I said too.
And any Romero canon.
Yeah, but I think I didn't like those. So, it seemed like you like what The Walking Dead is, that there's a lot of character focus, and I think a lot of zombie movies don't have time for that, and they're just not that interested in it. They're more into the thrills, So yeah, I think Walking Dead is different than most zombie fare because of that. But strangely enough, yeah, I think Shaun of the Dead, even though it's a comedy, has a lot of heart to
Yeah,
Walking Dead.
right. And Zombieland's
Zombieland, yeah. Try the 28 Days Later one, and those are more thrilling.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You didn't like Night of the Living Dead. I mean, I really liked the Dawn of the Dead remake. That's one of my favorites.
That would be an excellent one.
Yeah,
Dawn of the Dead
so if you find time, watch that and then call back and let us know if you liked it or not.
That's fun.
There was a funny iTunes review. I don't know if he meant to do this, but he said, "You guys rot."
Yeah, of course he meant that.
Yeah, he meant
That's
that.
great.
From Gus Pan one.
Thanks, Gus Pan.
All right, let's move on.
All right, it's been a quiet week in Lake Zombieland. In fact, today though there was a great article that came out in the New York Times. New York Times is giving us a little love, giving zombies a little love because they have an article that the title of the article is "What rhymes with undead?" Some poets know, and it's by William Grimes. By the way, what does rhyme with undead?
Zedhead.
Red, well-fed, amputated, reanimated. Just saying. Okay, the article goes, times may be tough, but if you happen to be a zombie, the future looks bright. Never have the undead seem more alive. In television series like The Walking Dead and video games like Zombie Panic, butcher corpses swarm the land, feasting on flesh. The zombie apocalypse, an end-of-days fantasy in which the dead hunt the living and consume their brains, has infected the popular imagination the way the threat of nuclear holocaust did in the 1950s. Poets have taken note. Most of them self-proclaimed geeks or nerds nourished in the alternative culture of poetry slams and spoken word performances. The work of more than 50 zombie poets has been collected in Aim for the Head, recently issued by Right Blade Productions, that's W-I-R-I-T, and edited by Rob Struma, also known as Rat Pack Slim. As poetic material, brain-hungry humanoids offer unusual possibilities. It's an intriguing proposition, says Sarah Juliette Lauro, the editor with Deborah Christie of the essay collection Better Off Dead, The Evolution of the Zombie as Posthuman. If your brain is dead, it's still walking around, what would that look like from the inside? Not good. An entry in Matt Betts' My Zombie Journal in the anthology Vicious Verses and Animated Rhymes reads, this is a sweet little poem. I know I had 2 arms when I came into this town, but I seem to have left one somewhere. Rotten flesh, a disintegrating personality, and insatiable craving for brains. This is the zombie experience. Although the more daring zombie poets allow for complex emotional states like alienation and loss. In Rebirth is always painful. Evan Pearson asks, Ancient question. When dead folks walk, do they know poetry, or is it all just hunger, brains, and meat? Don't fool yourself. A zombie does feel pain. It's the pain itself that has no meaning.
So deep.
Isn't that deep? I have one more for you. It's a zombie haiku. Megan Toma addresses the topic even more importantly. Let's play a zombie sex game. She writes in zombie haiku 2. Let's play sex game. You eat, I'll moan, we both feel nothing inside. All right, one more. It's so good. Some zombie poets imagine the possibility of love with a grim twist or two. Quote, there is no more textbook definition of unconditional than the girl who will offer up her heart knowing exactly what you'll do with it. So there it is. The New York Times talking about zombie poetry.
Lovely.
We love zombie poetry here on the Walking Dead Cast.
Yep.
Love it. Love haiku in general.
Especially when professionals. I like that.
I know, I do
Get
too. I do too. Hey, TV series that's airing tomorrow night, and unfortunately, this podcast is probably going to come out after that. But you can always look it up on Comcast On Demand, or maybe even online on BBC America. There's a new TV series that's starting. It's a new TV series for us, but not a new TV series for Great Britain. It's called The Fades. Have you heard of this? It's kind of interesting. I'm watching BBC America because it's and they always talk about they always have commercials for The Fades. The Fades is a British supernatural drama television series broadcast on BBC Three and BBC HD. The series the first 6 episodes aired in September of 2011. The program centers on an English teenager named Paul who is haunted by apocalyptic dreams that nobody can explain and is able to see spirits of the dead known as the Fades all around him. The Fades cannot be seen, smelled, heard, or touched by other humans. They are all that is left of humans who have died and not accepted into heaven. As such, the Fades left on Earth have become embittered and vengeful towards the human race. It is shown in the first episode that the Fades have found a way to confront the human again and regain control of touch within the real world. However, they remain unseen in the world except for those special few like Paul or angelics who have the ability to perceive the Fades. Paul finds himself pulled into a conflict between the angelics and Fades, trying to prevent the Fades from breaking back into the world and destroying the human race. So looks kind of interesting. And I've seen a review liked it, and again on BBC America, it's airing here in the United States on January 16th. I think it's Saturday, but you can probably also go to BBC America, probably playing a lot. For those of our listeners who are in Great Britain and you've seen this, write to us and tell us how it is.
It sounds really good. It sounds exactly like a Sixth Sense to me, but it could be very good. Yeah, hopefully it'll get creepy.
Yeah, exactly. And finally, one last story that was in Forbes, and it's all about scientifically studying real life zombies. I don't know what it is about zombies. I really don't, but I like the real life stories of zombies. I think that's even better than what Hollywood comes up with sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And so there's this team. There's a team that is studying it, and it says when George Romero first produced his movies, he didn't call his living dead monsters zombies. That's because before Romero and his successors, zombies were a different thing entirely. A zombie was a reanimated corpse that was completely under control of someone else, not the autonomous brain eaters we know and love today. So zombies, folklore and religious belief, have their roots in the voodoo religion, non-religion, most likely in Haiti, where there's still strong belief in them. Indeed, Penal Code of Haiti identifies zombification as murder, even if the victim is still alive. The zombification process we made famous by anthropologist Wade Davis, who hypothesized that zombification is caused by a neurotoxin that can be found in local pufferfish. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what the whole story, just kind of neat, but they're sort of studying this, and there's a website called Mind Hacks, and over Mind Hacks they have an article written up about this research into modern day zombies and real life zombies. I just love them, man. I just really do. Okay, well, that's the news from Zombie Gun, where all the women are dead, all the men are bad looking, and all the children are brain eating freaks.
Poor little kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to play the interview that we did with Gary Steiner. He Steiner. He's heading up this effort to save this chapel that appeared in the cemetery scene in Night of the Living Dead, which if you heard our Greg Nicotero episode, you heard us talk about that. The chapel's in danger of being torn down, and it's a piece of film history, and they really want to save it. And so they're trying to get together $50,000 to save it. And so we talked to him a little bit about that. So.
And I also want to say that he was, or SaveChapel.com was responsible for 3 of my Christmas cards this year. They had a cool little promotion where you could make a donation, and on your behalf they would send out a Christmas card to whomever you wanted to. So I sent 3 of them out, and they are really freaking adorable.
Really cool.
Yeah, they're just awesome. And they have really cool things on their website. They have T-shirts, they have posters. They used to have they'll make a portrait of you into a zombie picture. I don't know if that's still up. They have plans to do all kinds of things to raise money.
Clever, yeah.
Super clever, like adopting a piece of the chapel. But he'll tell us more about that in the interview.
Yeah, we'll be right back with Gary.
Okay, we're back with Gary Steiner. Gary, it's so good to have you here with us. First things first. Can you tell us how it's going? How's the fundraising going?
Well, like I say, we're just a few $1,000s away, but we got a ways to go. We're probably somewhere between $12,000 and $13,000 right now, which is that's a lot of money when you consider it's all coming in 10 to 25,
right.
an occasional 50 here and there, and a T-shirt here and a poster there. And, so part of the mission for the group is to provide new ways for people to participate.
I have to say on your website the 2 things that you can do to raise, the 2 things you offer to raise money: the custom zombie portraits, awesome, and the poster. The poster's so cool too.
Yeah, Terry Town just did an amazing job with the poster, and also the person that they turned into T-shirts. And we've got more of that stuff coming. We have a I don't know if you've heard about it, but someone, I'm not even sure exactly who it is. I think I did know at one point in time, but since long forgotten. Somebody put a Facebook page together to get 1 million people to watch Night of the Living Dead on George Romero's birthday, which is February 4th. And so this thing's been rattling around for a bunch of time. I have no idea really how many people are actually into it, but we decided that we were going to be the Pittsburgh contingent of that screening. So we're having a George's birthday bash on February 4th at Hollywood Theater here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's great. And it's a fundraiser?
Yes.
I want to go.
And it's just going to be fun to see. I've done a bunch of things now since I started with the Living Dead Fest in 2008 that have all gathered anywhere from 25 people to 300, 400 people. And each and every single one of them ends up being a really, really special event. And people, for instance, this one, hopefully people from the group are going to get to come in from out of state, meet people local here. And the same thing happened. We had some benefit screenings at the Trans Theater up here near Evans City back in the fall. And it was the same thing. People come from Detroit, people come from Virginia, and these people acted like they know one another. It was like a high school reunion. It's so bizarre to have such a focused cause.
Right.
It's not about the horror genre. It's about Night of the Living Dead. It's not about whatever. It's about the chapel in Night of the Living Dead.
Can you describe the chapel for us?
Sure. It's actually it's a cement block building. That's one story with a basement in it. Some people call it a 2-story. I call it 1 story with a basement. It's very small. I think it's 20 by 30. It's about the ceiling inside the chapel is probably about 15 feet tall. It's a very plain structure.
One might say homely.
One might say, well, homely. I don't know about homely. It's homely right now, but I'll tell you what, when it gets its feathers all stitched up and it's paint done, I think it's going to be quite a little shining star. It's not, it's not Gothic. It's not there are no religious adornments whatsoever. There's no altar in it. It was meant to be a non-denominational, obviously, because tons of different religions died in the cemetery. So it was really a hall. It was really a gathering place, and it never really took off for a bunch of different reasons. I guess none that completely totally makes sense to me, but it's on the sort of the worst part, the most hilly part of the cemetery, which makes sense. And they're trying to keep the flatlands for graves. So it's like a really kind of precarious, weird, hilly part of the cemetery, and people just decided not to use it. To the best of any records that I can see, there's only one recorded use of it ever as a chapel.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was built as a chapel. The minutes of the meetings all say, chapel, build a chapel, but it ended up not being used for one reason or another. And, it then became really, truly, caretaker shed. And, when I started fundraising, I said, why don't I call it a chapel? I mean, I think trying to raise money for caretaker shed might be a little bit. So we chose the more glamorous chapel aspect of it.
How much time do you have to save it?
Well, yeah, they gave me a year. So theoretically, till September 27th of next year. I'm kind of hoping that we're going to be able to get into construction this summer. And we'll see. We got a bunch of things that are coming out that are going to, well, I shouldn't say a bunch, we have a number of things. One of them is we're going to start selling chapel parts. We're going to actually
chapel parts?
Yeah, chapel parts. Beautiful, well, it's all like a beautiful rusted tin that's coming off the, coming off the roof.
Awesome. Awesome.
Lumber that boards that you just couldn't believe, with rusty nails and hunks of rust on it. I mean, stuff that a normal person would think garbage to a diehard fan. It's like, oh no, this is really, I get to for X amount of dollars actually own a piece of the chapel.
I love it.
And I don't know if you've ever heard it, but there have been a lot of people over the course of time that have sold cemetery dirt, and they literally have gone to the cemetery, scooped up a bunch of earth and packed it into these little vials and sold it for $20 a pop. Well, we're going to take that idea one step further because we have things like mortar and nails and broken glass and tin and hunks of wood. And so for $10, you're going to be actually able to buy your little casket with sacrifice in it. So I think that's going to be kind of like a novelty thing. But for the collector, for the collector that can't afford to pay $250 for a piece, that's going to be a cool little bit.
Say someone's thinking about donating. What would you say to kind of nudge them into doing it?
Well, I mean, bottom line, just think about it. Right now, today's fans have the luxury, today's Night Loading Dead fans have the luxury of still having George and Jack Russo and Russ Steiner and, tons of the cast and characters that do conventions all the time. So right now, they can still see those people, get their autographs, talk to them. But we're all getting in our 70s, I mean, we're not going to be around forever. And there is going to be a point in time when that access is just not so easy. And they're going to have to come back on the only sort of things that are going to be around there. The only thing that's going to be around is the cemetery. And so the chapel is a big part of the cemetery. And I would just say, be cautious of the future because if you let it go, it's gone and it'll never be back.
Is it true that your brother is Russ Steiner, right?
Yes.
And he said,
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Hey, that was pretty good.
Thanks.
Well, you know, only 25 cents. That's his deal.
what's the name of your Facebook group?
It's called The Living Dead Fest.
Well, Gary, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate
my pleasure.
everything you're doing.
All right, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, man.
Take
Good
care.
luck.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, that's our show, episode 53. Thanks for listening, everyone. Really glad to be back.
Thanks. So glad to be back, guys.
The song that was played at the interview like I mentioned was from Jay Walker. You actually have that up on iTunes, so just search Walking Dead Cast.
I love Jay Walker.
Find it. Next time we're recording on January 27th. We're going to be reviewing the show Alcatraz because it's a new show. Why are we doing that?
Yeah,
because
it's
the
a new
new
show,
show we
and-
hope is good.
yes.
And if it's not good, then we're going to tear it to pieces.
Yes, and it's pretty creepy and great. And also I might mention the face because I know what the face is.
We might have another surprise to do by then too. In the meantime, if you'd like to give us a call, you can call us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323.
You can email us at brains@walkingdeadcast.com.
You can check out our website in the comments at walkingdeadcast.com.
We're also on Twitter at Jason Karen and on Facebook at Facebook.com/thickets.
All right, that's our show.
Thanks for listening. Don't get it.